Welcome back to Chronicles on the Focus, the podcast that dives deep into the fascinating lives and works of history's most captivating characters. I'm your host, Bob, and with me as always, the wonderfully witty Alice.
And hello, Bob. Today, we're venturing into the whimsical world of Hans Christian Andersen, the master storyteller behind those childhood classics that still give us goosebumps, and maybe a few nightmares.
Exactly. He wasn't just a fairy tale spinner, though. This guy lived a life more dramatic than any of his plots. Alice, let's start with the juicy bits, the rumors. Did you know there's a persistent theory that Andersen was the illegitimate son of King Christian VIII?
Oh, the drama. It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? Historian Jens Jorgensen even wrote a whole book about it. But honestly, Bob, the evidence is, well, let's just say it's thinner than a paper-thin ice skating rink, which isn't a very good metaphor, considering we're talking about the guy who wrote The Snow Queen. The fact remains shrouded in mystery. More reliable is his humble beginning, born in Odense, Denmark, to a shoemaker father who shared his love for stories, reading him Arabian Nights, and an illiterate washerwoman mother. Talk about a contrast in backgrounds.
A real rags to riches story, literally. And his early life was anything but a fairy tale. He was sent to a school for poor children, worked as an apprentice, and then had a stint at the Royal Danish Theatre before realizing his true calling was writing. But even then, his schooling was a nightmare. Apparently, he suffered some abuse there.
The poor guy. It's almost unbelievable how much hardship he endured before finding success. But talk about perseverance. He kept writing, even after harsh criticism of his early fairy tales. They said his style was too informal, even immoral for children.
Can you imagine? Critics dissing the emperor's new clothes. The audacity. But let's talk about that tale. A story that cleverly critiqued vanity and dishonesty. The original ending was actually different. It wasn't a child who pointed out the emperor's nakedness, but Andersen changed it. He made the story more impactful by the end.
And the impact is undeniable. His tales have been translated into over 125 languages and inspired countless adaptations, from ballets and plays to animated films and live-action movies. We all know The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Snow Queen, but there are so many other gems, some lesser known, like Thumbelina, or The Steadfast Tin Soldier. Even a recently discovered story, The Tallow Candle, found in an archive in 2012. He was incredibly prolific. He wrote 156 stories across 9 volumes.
Beyond his fairy tales, Andersen was also a prolific travel writer, creating vivid accounts of his European adventures. His writing is remarkable, painting such evocative pictures of his travels. He really was a man of many talents.
A true Renaissance man of storytelling, wouldn't you say, Bob? From the hardships of his childhood to the international acclaim of his writing, Hans Christian Andersen's life is a testament to the power of imagination and perseverance, and a reminder that even the most fantastical stories can be rooted in a very real, and often difficult, life.
That's all the time we have for today, folks. Join us next time on Chronicles on the Focus for another captivating journey into the annals of history and art.